Let's learn how to cut and sew this beautiful dress. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make this simple and stylish gather gown, separate belt, and the sleeve. Okay, if this sounds like something you're interested to, then keep on watching and let's get started. Okay, so guys, I'm going to come down by 11.5 inch, come down by 15.5 inch, come down by 18 inch, come down by 27 inch. Repeat the same thing on this other side. I'll mark 11.5 inch, come down by 15.5, come down by 18, come down by 27, and lastly 33. Okay, so this 33 will be from the shoulder to where my flare will start. So I'm going to use my ruler to make a straight line across. I'm going to also label those lines so you don't get confused. You get, so this is for my client. Okay, so after making a straight line across, I'm going to label the first line as the bust point, which is the 11.5. Under bust is the 15.5. Waistline is the 18 inch. This is the hip line, which is 27, and I will label here as half length, which is from the shoulder to where the gather will start. So from the bust point line, I'm going to go up by 2 inch. Then I'll use my straight ruler to make a straight line. This will also serve as my client chest line. Okay, so on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark half of my shoulder circumference, which is for my client. I'll repeat the same thing on the chest line, and I'll connect the two dots to give you my straight line. I'm going to go down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, then mark 3.5 inch for neck width, and for the front high neck, I will mark 5 inch. Okay, the reason I marked 5 inch is because my client is a tall person and she has body as well, so that's why I marked this 5 inch. The 5 inch will serve as her high neck line. You get, so yours could be 3 inch or 3.5. So I'll also come down again by 3 inch. This will serve as her back neck depth because I will use this pattern for the front and back. Okay, so I'm going to label as high and low neckline. You get, so after extending my shoulder slope to the neck width, I'll make my armhole curve using a free hand and also label as shoulder line. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to mark half of my client's nipple to nipple. Her nipple to nipple is 9 inch and half of it is 4.5. I'll use it to make a straight line like so. After that, on the waistline, I'm going to subtract half inch on both sides. Do the same thing on the hip line, just this way. Okay, so from the half length line, I'm going to go up by 3 inch. Then I'll use my ruler to connect from that point to this point. Please note that this dress does not have that. Okay, I'm just making this that for the basic body sake. You get, we have basic bodies, so that's why I'm just including that because I'm not going to be working with any that. Okay, so what I want to do now is to divide my client bust circumference by 4. Her bust is 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inch. I marked it and I add 2 inch for seam allowance and ease allowance. Okay, at the waistline, I mark total of the waist circumference plus 2 inch for ease allowance and seam allowance. On the hip line, I mark quarter of the hip circumference plus 2 inch for seam allowance and ease allowance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and connect from the chest line to the hip line. Note that I didn't replace the dart intake I have here because there will be no dart in this dress, just a free gown, just a little bit free gown. You get, so what I did next was to measure what I have on the hip line in total, and I said to remove 1 inch, and I marked it on the half length. Okay, so this is optional. You can just leave it like that and mark straight down. You get. So now that I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and cut this out. You get. So I'm just going to cut the armhole, cut the shoulder slant, and also cut the round neckline for the back. So I'll use this pattern to cut the front and also use it to cut the back, but I'll first cut the back. After cutting the back, I am going to cut the front neckline and also use it for the front. You get, so I'm going to transfer to the actual fabric. So I've gone ahead to cut out the front and back piece. You can see what I have here. I also have my bias, so from the shoulder to the half length, that is where the flare will start, is 33 inch. Okay, the full length of this gown is 43 inch. Okay, so from the shoulder to where the flare will start is 33 plus 1 inch for allowance. Okay, so the 1 inch for the allowance is half an inch for the joining of the gathers and also for the neckline. Do you get? So this is my bias tape. I'm going to use it to pipe the neckline. So after piping the neckline for the front and back piece, you can see what I have here. I also went ahead to join the shoulder using half an inch. I did the same thing on the other side. So the next thing I want to do now is to turn the wrong side of this dress. So I'm going to go ahead now to trim out this excess I have on the armhole. Then after that, from that armhole, I'm going to go down by 2 inch. I'll come down by 2 inch. Then I'll stitch with half an inch. Okay. And when I get to this down part, I'm going to leave a space of 3 inch for the gathers, for the joining of the gathers. So on this other side, I'll do the same thing. From the armhole, I'm going to go down by 2 inch, then I'm going to sew from there. Then I'll finish it up on this other end. You get? So I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'm also going to cut the flare we are going to be attaching on that point. So this is the gather. I have already gone ahead to cut it out. So 33 is the half length of the gown. All right, so 33, this is 43 for the full gown length, and also 1 inch for stitching allowance. Okay, so I have 3 yards here and also have 3 yards on this other side. So I cut 3 yards by 2 because I want it very, very full. Do you get? So what I'm going to do now is to place them right sides facing each other, and I'm going to stitch on both sides. Sorry, on one side. I'll stitch on one side to give me a very long piece. Okay, so after stitching on one side, I'm going to fold the upper part like so into two, then go ahead and run a stitch from that point to the other end. After folding and running your stitch, you're going to come down by half an inch away and run a gather stitch as well. So this is the dress. This is the wrong side of the gown. I've gone ahead to stitch, and you can see the space I left at the bottom part where I'm going to be attaching the gathers. And I did the same thing on the armhole because I'll still attach the sleeve. And you can see I finished up with the other side. So this is the gather. Okay, the flare part. I've already gone ahead to fold first. Then after folding, you're going to give half inch distance away from the folded part, then run a gather stitch. After running my gather stitch, I went ahead to make gathers. You can see I'm making my gathers here. So I'm going to finish up these gathers off camera, okay, because this is very long. So this is my gather. Have gone ahead to gather. As you can see, this is very long, so you got to be patient and gather this very well. Okay, so now that I'm done gathering, this is the blouse. So from the bottom part, I'm going to take the measurement I have there. So after taking my measurement, I have 56. So I'm going to also take the measurement of the gather. Whatever you have on the bottom part of your gown, ensure you have it as well on your gathers. Okay, so after taking the measurement on my gather, I have 56 inch as well. Can you see? So the next thing I want to do now is to place back the gown. So this is my gown. I've placed it. Now I'm going to place the gather. When placing the gather, you're going to place it at least half inch or 1 inch, okay, away from the bottom part. Place your gather like so, then go ahead and stitch. You're going to stitch on the same line where you have your gather stitch. Do you get? So this is the sleeve. The wideness I have there is times 2 of my client's round sleeve measurement. For the sleeve armhole, you will use the measurement you have on your dress, use it plus 2 inch, then make your curve for the sleeve. And for the length, I think I have 16 and a half there, so I'm going to go ahead and fold like so, so I could be able to attach my elastic. You get? So when you get the measurement and the curve for the upper sleeve, just go ahead and slant it into the other side. Okay, so now that I've done attaching the flare, you can see what I have here. Okay, so when sewing this flare or when attaching the flare to this dress, please ensure you take your time. Okay, be patient with it, and also fold this part after you are done. So this is the sleeve. I already sew where the elastic will be attached on the sleeve. So this is the elastic. I'll do that off camera So after fixing my elastic, I went ahead to attach the sleeve to the dress, as you can see. And this is the flip part. I've already hemmed the bottom part of the flare. So the next thing I want to do now is to sew the belt. It has separate belt for the front, so I'm going to sew the belt. So I went ahead to cut all the pieces. So what I have here is 10 inch on a fold, and I have it about 4 pieces. Okay, so my client waist is 40, so what I have there is 40 by 2. Okay, so I'm going to now join them together to give me a longer piece. So this is what I'm doing here. You place it right side facing each other, then go ahead and stitch. Do the same thing on this other side. It will give you longer piece. Then after you are done with that, you place one on top of the other, right side facing each other, and stitch, then make your belt to give you a very long belt. Okay, I finished sewing the belt. You can see what I have here. So I'm going to tie this belt to the dress, just like you can see in the beginning of this video. I was tying this on my mannequin. Okay, this dress is very beautiful. You need to see this dress on my client, like very, 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 very pretty. So the next thing I want to do is just to iron. Okay, so now that I'm done with everything, guys, you can see what I have here. So I'll just wear it on my mannequin so you see the final result of our beautiful dress. So guys, this is what we have here. You can see how beautiful this looks. Can you see? So if you love this video, kindly hit on the subscribe button for more interesting video like this. Thank you for watching.